to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to start off this evening with kind of a memory of a fallen police officer from Fredonia. Brad, you had an officer that just passed away, and I think it's right that we recognize her duty and her service to the village. Sergeant Ann Wright West joined the force in 1983. She was the first woman to ever be on the Fredonia Police Department. In 1996, she was put in the position of sergeant. She was the first woman to be a sergeant in either Chautauqua County or Cattaraugus County. She was, lost recently, and I'd like to have a moment of silence for Sergeant Ann West. Thank you. At a regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia, duly called and held on the 9th day of December, 2013, at 7:30 p.m. in the Trustees' Room, 2nd floor, Village Hall, Fredonia, New York, and public notice of the time and place of this meeting has been given to the local news media and conspicuously posted in one or more designated public locations in accordance with Section 104 of the Open Meetings Law.
Where members of this board present at the meeting have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees' regular meeting of November 25th, 2013. Now therefore be resolved that this board approves the minutes as entered in official minutes, and be it further resolved that the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
You know, I don't want to second this because I didn't get the minutes. I'm sorry. I haven't seen them.
Okay. Do we have somebody that would second it? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we have 4 ayes, 1 nay. It's passed. Reports. I'm sorry. Rick.
We got the fire department report for the month of October. There were 150 calls for the month. Rescue and AMS had 105 calls. There were 5 fires, 8 hazardous conditions, 20 false alarms and false calls, 5 service calls, 6 good intents, and 1 overpressure rupture explosion. Second report is the police department report for the month of November. They had a total number of incidents of 837, 22 accidents, 60 arrests reported, vehicle and traffic 48, and parking tickets 167. The building inspector's report for the month of November 2013. Permits issued 14, inspections 25, certificates of compliance 24, violations found 5, violations satisfied 2. Total fees collected $1,354.40, and 3 stop work orders were issued. 6 permits generated at $669.50 in revenue, with an estimated cost for work for the month of $122,800. That's it for the reports.
Correspondence.
Correspondence was received from the Secretary of the Fredonia Police Company to add the name of Chad Engel to the active rolls effective immediately.
Be resolved that the name of Chad Engel, McKinley Avenue, Dunkirk, is hereby added to the active rolls of the Fredonia Fire Police Company effective immediately.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Now we come to the public portion. If anyone would like to address this board this evening, please state your name, and the floor is yours. Go right ahead.
James Linden, Castile Drive, Fredonia. In respect to the comprehensive plan, there's a host of valid reasons why the community should adopt a comprehensive plan. With consideration to the cost of the past plan that we had worked on, the total cost of $51,000 with a technical grant of $21,000, leaving about $30,000. In a time lapse of 5 years, the village has not adopted the comprehensive plan. This is grossly inefficient, and until the board does adopt the plan, it has no value. You can't do anything with it. There have been numerous requests by the planning board members as to the status of the comprehensive plan. And the planning board minutes reflect that the building inspector and the village attorney said it was in the hands of the village board. Well, now the plan is outdated and it needs to be reviewed and revised. The newly created New York State Complete Streets Law, as recommended by the state, should be adopted as a policy to be considered as a part of the comprehensive plan in order to maintain the sensitivity to the local conditions. Now, I would like to know, is there going to be more cost to this? And will there be a follow-up this time so that it is actually addressed in a timely manner?
Our intention is to follow up with a comprehensive plan. If it needs to be revised, revise it. The policy for the complete streets would be a separate, but we want it to be in conjunction with. You know, we want them to work together. The policies and resolutions should all work together.
They should all work together.
Right.
I would ask that they review other communities' policy programs that they've adopted, because they do include them in the comprehensive plan, and that's the way that you're able to get grant money and things like that.
Right.
But that's the way it's recommended by the state, and not as a separate ordinance on its face, so that it should be adopted into the comprehensive plan.
And our intention is that if the opportunity comes for our grant money, our state funding for our Complete Streets project, that we be shovel-ready and
Right.
ready to go with it. And that's why it was brought up that we should incorporate it with the comprehensive plan.
It is a state law, and it has to be actually be considered, regardless if you're asking for money or not. But when you do ask for money, that's the only way you're going to get it.
Right, right.
So,
So, yes, and I'd like to have you as a part of the Complete Street project. I think you would be an excellent addition to the, you know.
I have attended seminars on it. I'm very knowledgeable in the program. I could do my best to work with it, but
Right.
I just want to make sure that there's going to be follow-through
Right.
on this time around, because it's like I said, it's been too long.
Right, and I would agree with you. I think everyone here at the table would agree with you. And that's why I'd like to see you a part of this upcoming meeting on Thursday night.
I have to work. There's just no way I get out of my work that evening. I can't be there. But I have reviewed the entire program.
Right.
I know exactly what they're going to be telling you from their part of the program. I've been part of it.
Okay.
Reviewed the entire from end to end. So I am familiar with it.
Would you mind if I shared?
But,
Would you mind if I shared minutes with you of the meetings and
Yeah.
get your input?
matter of fact, I did review the entire video of the last meeting that you had.
Oh, okay.
So I know exactly, because that was available online.
Perfect. Perfect.
I will do so, if they record it, I will also do it this time. But I am being on the planning board, and it is my understanding that we're going to review it. Coming up, beginning this next meeting, or at least take a look at it, to be sent possibly back to the Board of Trustees.
Right.
In the
So
near
you
in the
will
near
list-
future.
Do you have a list of those requests from the planning board to the board of when they asked to have the board review the comprehensive plan?
Yeah, they're in the minutes. I have some with me right now if you'd like to see them.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, if you could just get a copy for us, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Yeah, we had talked about going after this final review, and there might be a couple of things that are added, that it would go to a public hearing in January, we thought.
Should have another public hearing.
Another public hearing in January.
Would anyone else like to address this board? Yes, sir.
My name is Paul Giacchino, and I recently have been having difficulty finding out information about what was going on in the village, such things like the Santa Claus in the park, and community calendar related things, but also just got me to think the potential of what else I might not be aware of or might be interested in finding out, and would like to voice my interest in a website. just to ask for your consideration on that prospect. For anyone who might be proposing or offering to help with that endeavor, consider it.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, not seeing anyone else. We'll move on to resolutions.
Be it resolved that upon recommendation of Tom DeTaglia, Recreation Director, the following individuals are hereby appointed to seasonal positions for the 2013-14 Village Winter Recreation effective immediately. Scott Van Dett, Richard Swanson, Milton Quant, Cody Cunningham, Francesca Seisel, Dylan Meyer, James Hobbs, Caleb Sullivan, Jacob Lilly, Nicholas Miller.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Whereas proposed tier agreement between the Village of Fredonia and the Town of Pomfret, whereby fire protection and emergency services would be provided by the village to the town, was approved by the village and delivered to the Town of Pomfret on October 28, 2013, for its review and approval. And whereas the agreement provides the town pay the village for such services by using the village budget appropriations for fire and emergency services multiplied by the percentage derived by using the total taxable valuation of the town, excluding Lilydale, divided by the total taxable valuation of the village. And whereas village taxpayers are likewise taxed for fire protection and emergency services based on taxable assessed valuation, and whereas the formula used in the village is comparable to the formula that the town uses to determine its tax to the village taxpayers, and whereas the village delivered the proposed agreement to the town on October 28, 2013, and has not received a response from the town board, and whereas said agreement is also subject to the approval of the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department, now therefore be it resolved that the mayor is authorized to send a letter to the town reminding the town that under the existing contract, fire protection and emergency services from the village will terminate at midnight, December 31st, 2013.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Whereas Alan Doltz and Cheryl Zilick, by their attorney, have offered to convey to the Village of Fredonia a permanent storm sewer easement at 272A Berry Road, Fredonia, New York, for no monetary consideration as shown on the attached survey of GPI Engineering and Survey LLP. And whereas a storm sewer is already in place and the village DPW supervisor, Mr. Jack Bolin, recommends that the village accept the easement as a storm sewer is part of a major drainage area of the village. Now therefore it be resolved that the village accept a storm water easement from Doltz and Zulik, which shall be in form and content satisfactory to the village. And be it further resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign said easement on behalf of the village and any other papers necessary to acquire the easement.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that the schedule of meetings of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia for the period of January 2014 through June 2014 as set forth in the attached minutes is hereby approved, and be it further resolved that the village clerk is hereby authorized to publish said notice in the Observer and to mail a copy of said schedule to WDOE Radio, the Jamestown Post-Journal, and the Buffalo News. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that the attached schedule of budget transfers pursuant to Section 5-520 of the village law
Is hereby approved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right. Where-
Opposed?
Whereas USA Department of the Army has requested permission from the Village of Fredonia for a survey and exploration of the Village Wastewater Treatment Plant, WWTP, site for a proposed surveillance camera tower for the United States Border Control for surveillance of the lake in order to ensure protection of the United States borders and safety of our citizens and infrastructure. And whereas a proposed one-year survey and exploration agreement between the Village of Fredonia and the United States of America, Department of the Army, has been presented to this board, which will allow the government to enter and survey village WWTP premises, including placing of necessary tools and equipment, which will not interfere with the operation of the WWTP. Now therefore, be it resolved that said proposed agreement is hereby approved and the mayor is hereby authorized to sign the agreement on behalf of the Village of Fredonia.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that Allen Marine Services of Tonawanda, New York is hereby retained to supply all the labor and associated equipment to remove all accumulated sediment debris within the Clearwell Reservoir per their contract proposal dated November 20, 2013, at a cost not to exceed $12,600, and the mayor is hereby authorized to sign said contract on behalf of the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed.
Call for a special meeting on the 16th.
Sure.
Anybody want to make that motion?
Make a motion to call for a special meeting on Monday the 16th at 7:30 PM.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. We'll have a special meeting on next Monday. The other thing I'd like to say is I'd like to thank Festivals Fredonia for Miracle on Main Street. What a place to be was downtown Fredonia over the weekend. I'd like to thank Barb Sam, Mary Jane Starks, and Michelle Twitchell for their hard work, and also a thank you for the donation to the rec department. Mark and Phyllis, I think you would both say that was a nice
Very nice.
event. If anybody had a chance to see the DFT Museum, the Tower Gifts Shop set up as a museum, it was beautiful. And if you haven't been in there yet, please go in. It's kind of a self-guided tour, push buttons. It tells you the history of telecommunications, and it's well worth looking at. Barker Library was involved with this, the Rotary Club. Special thanks to Rich Ryan and the mysterious benefactor who we dedicated the gazebo on Saturday, and somebody did a matching fund for the gazebo through the Rotary Club, and it looks great. The plaque's not up yet, but it will be in the very near future. Much More Chill was very chilly. It was the musical group. I think they were a little much more frostbit that day, but they sounded good. And the SUNY Fredonia Greek students did an outstanding job working as Rudolph, Frosty, Elves, Tim Hortons. You had Dave and Gina Crone that donated donuts and hot chocolate. Hospice did an outstanding job with the ribbons and the dedication and the prayer. The White Inn, the Ages of Hope, Herbs for Life, Ladies of the Lakes, Timepieces, the WCA Home, First United Methodist Church, the Winters Farmers Market, the Fredonia Presbyterian Church, the Fredonia Opera House. Had a beautiful occasion yesterday. Sue was there. Nice, kind of festive time. Delicious treats. I'd like to thank the Streets Department. The village looks beautiful. The lights up. It makes all the difference in the world. I'd like to thank Chip for being on hand for local access, doing video production during the festival's process. I'd also like to thank, or I'd like to make a comment. During this time of the year, everyone should shop locally. You should do it year-round. You think about, where we are at with our economy now. And the reason our economy is in the boat it's in right now is because no one shops locally anymore. And you say, well, you can't buy it locally anymore. And the reason you can't buy it locally anymore is because you didn't shop for it in the first place. We're all guilty of it, but we have to make a conscious effort to buy things locally. I know the generation coming up right now, it's all eBay and it's all, you buy it online. You need to keep your local businesses going. And the best way to do it, if it costs you a little bit extra, it's not that much extra. And you think about, the local farmers, the local shops, if we can keep them in operation, we're a whole lot better off. So don't think of shopping locally just for the Christmas season. Think about it year-round. And the other comment I'd like to make is please come to the Complete Streets meeting on Thursday night right here at 6 o'clock. Oh, Santa's mailbox. You got it. Go ahead.
Don't forget the most important part of it all is Santa's mailbox for Village Fredonia and Town of Pomfret kids over at the Fredonia Post Office. Sorry.
That's fine. I didn't think about that. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add? Phyllis Jones.
Okay, I make a motion that we adjourn.